Now we're live. Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Wrigley Field. I'm Harry Carey, and I'm dead. So, I hope this is fucking working, because I put a lot of time and effort into this motherfucker, and if it doesn't, I'm going to be pissed the fuck off. So, apparently, since I'm killing it right now on people who are watching it, because it's Christmas, and I want to say to everybody back in the hinterland of the East, Feliz Navidad, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus, Shalom, whatever. I'm sure I missed somebody. So I really didn't have any idea that this was going to actually happen, and it's one of those things in which when it does happen, you're like, oh fuck, this is pretty cool right here. So I'm trying to multitask. So there's a long time ago, they were considering allowing women into Ranger School, and they'll fight tigers. What about Special Forces? Fuck Special Forces. So anyway, there's a lot of fucking backdoor shit going on, and there's a lot of dudes who were like myself who were kind of ranting and raving, saying this is fucked up. You shouldn't do this. And it's one thing to have a platform that you stand on, and you're like, oh, this is fucking bullshit. This is fucked up. You know, it doesn't make any tactical sense in the aspect of allowing, women into a man's world. Then now that sounds racist and that sounds whatever. Fuck off. I don't give a fuck, because you squat to piss. You'll always be a woman. There's nothing wrong with being a woman, because you do way many more things better than a man can do. Now, you don't see men trying to creep over into a woman's world. Why is that? Because we're men. But then you have, you've got girls doing Boy Scouts and shit now, and you've got, it's bringing two universes together that shouldn't be fucking brought together. So you have the females are going to go to Ranger School, and they're going to do great things, and they're going to fucking change the world, and they're going to show us men, us chauvinistic fucks, which, yes, guilty. Drink water. They're going to show us just how fucked up we are in our way of thinking. So there's a push by the brass to get the women, females, slags as I call them, to a point in their physical capability in which they could actually do or try for Ranger School. So everybody was like, oh, fuck this is bullshit. And you get some sellouts. Jeff Mellinger was one of them. Dennis Smith was one of them. And I have no problem telling those guys to their fucking faces that they're fucking sellouts, because they sold the fuck out. They would, for whatever reason, catch on their fucking man card and oh yeah, we're all about this. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not for the good of the order. Well, so since I've been the one person who was massively vocal about this, and I got a lot of pushback from a lot of different arenas. Getting that pushback, I came across some documents that I was like, holy fucking shit, dude. Is this real? And so when you have an active duty service member email you unsolicited and gives you information that is glaringly apparent that as a female, if you're a male and you stand and piss, And you would go to Ranger School. So back in the day when I was at 3rd Ranger Battalion, and I'm going to go to Ranger School because your career doesn't start until Ranger School. So I go to pre-Ranger, and it was like, okay, hey, today's the day you're going to go down and take a fucking pre-Ranger PT test. And it's like fucking February, cold as fuck, and our swim test was at the NCO pool, and it was like really cold. It was super cold. It was so cold that like when you finished up, they were putting you in a POV and driving you back to the barracks to fucking warm you up because you might die. I'm kidding. But no, it was cold. And then you did some more like Ranger stuff, and like, hey, Monday you're going to pre-Ranger, and then when you finished up pre-Ranger, back in the day, Ranger school started on a Friday. So we came out of the field probably around Wednesday-ish, Tuesday late Wednesday. We recovered, turned in all of our shit. We had like one night to sleep, and then Friday morning we're at Camp Rogers at Fort Benning doing Ranger School. There was no time off. There was no can we hang out here and kind of find ourselves and feel good about our physical fucking ability to be HUA. We went straight to fucking Ranger School. And for 72 fucking days, back when it was hard, yeah, motherfucker, I said 72 days in a row. Back when it was hard, you was in Ranger School. And you either graduated or you failed. You either got a tab or you got a fucking story. So, that being said, that there was no coddling. There was fucking zero coddling. Matter of fact, there's a lot of guys who probably left the military early because they didn't get coddled because they're like, fuck, these motherfuckers give zero fucks. It is WFO wide fucking open. So, when we're all saying, hey, the women are getting fucking special treatment and all these lying motherfuckers. We're like, no, they're not. I've got fucking proof. I'm going to show you tonight. This will be the most shared podcast since fucking, I don't know, JR got shot. I'm pretty sure, though, they didn't have podcasts back then, but if they did, he'd be number 1, I'd be number 2. I'd be like here. Maybe down here. And yes, I'm sporting my Soggy Dollar Jos Van Dyke shirt because it's Christmas Eve here in snowy Idaho, and I would love to be on the beach at Yost at the Soggy Dollar with a cocktail in my hand. I fucking all the hot bitches around there. Anyway, so I get an email a long time ago from an individual who was privy to information that was not released anywhere. And he was fearful for his career. And when he gave it to me, he's like, hey, don't use my name. Keep me out of it. I'm like, yeah, man, sure. So I shopped it around to certain individuals, and nobody wanted to buy on it because they're afraid that they might, I don't know. They just didn't actually step over the line and say, you know what? I've got this. Let's fucking break souls. Let's fucking push people's shit in with facts. So everybody was hem-hawing around about getting it done, and I am now, for the first time, drum roll please, I used to be a drummer, I'm going to show you documentation that substantiates that the fucking females got not special treatment and not preferential treatment, but fucking like rock star treatment. They probably didn't have to fucking even like wipe their own fucking vages after fucking taking a piss. They had people come in and fucking change tampons for them. That's how special it is. That's just an example. I'm sure it didn't happen, but if it did, somebody probably got fucking promoted really, really quick for it. So, I'm going to cut from my sexy face. Drink water. To the actual fucking shiznit. And I'm going to go click, click. So, without me fucking this up too much, this is the first of my slides. And as you can see here, I had to redact some of the shit here because it is the individual who sent it to me was like, hey man, do not use my fucking name. So I got access to Excel spreadsheets. And on those spreadsheets are the results of 2 assessments. The Word documents are plain correct, are the plan correct some deficiencies. However, I had to fucking like kind of fuck this shit up because I need a tech guy here 24/7 because this shit is like killing me. So throughout October and November, and it went through December, and I have a caveat at the end of this. These candidates had full days of classes on patrolling and land navigation. The scary part is not that they all continuously failed land navigation, but that these are the best trained female volunteers that the division had to offer. Now, you got to remember, the Army spent over $1 million going out and promoting, hey, you're a woman, you can go to Ranger School, you can fight tigers, okay? You can fight female tigers. And the best that they had said, I'll do it. Now, the initial best, and here's an example of their training program in December. And as you can see, on 7 December and 14 December, they got a fucking day off. Now, I don't remember being in any school in which, as far as like a pre-course, like pre-ranger or pre-scuba, not that I'm scuba qualified, but pre-scuba, that I got a fucking day off. And you can also see on several of the days, it was on your own fucking PT. Because, you know, we can't hurt their fucking feelings. But here's an example of the Ranger Candidate Assessment Land Navigation results, go, no-go. Now, if you look down, highlighted in red is Lieutenant Haver. Lieutenant Haver is actually one of the fucking women who graduated from the Ranger School, earning her coveted, well, previously known as coveted, Ranger tab. Now, she's a stud, no doubt about it. She's a physical stud, and a lot of dudes I know, we've all said, there is 1 or 2 women in the military who have the ability to get their tab without any assistance. Just fucking show the fuck up and get her fucking hooah on and fucking kick ass and take names. Now, Haver can't land nav. Now, when I say can't land nav, she couldn't fucking find her ass behind her back. So, you've got, on the right-hand side, notes. Pretty much everybody made time, but there were no-goes because they got the wrong fucking points. Such as Baker, she got 4. Close, but no cigar. You got Sergeant Hodges, got lost, busted time, possibly fell asleep in a porta-john. I've seen that before. Hey, I ain't getting no fucking sleep. I'm gonna go over here and fucking fall asleep and then come in late. And when they come in late, they're fucking running because they're scared. And they're all like fucking not sweating. I'm like, hey, Ranger, where the fuck you been? Oh, I got lost. Really? You're not sweating. It's fucking July. How much water do you have in your fucking canteens? They're full. You're a liar. Get the fuck out of my face. Anyway, so that is an example of the Ranger Candidate Assessment Land Nav results. Now, keep in mind that this has never been broadcast before anywhere. So I expect fucking people to just be like, what the fuck, Bubba? How'd you get this? I don't know. Sheer luck. So they assembled this thing at Fort Carson, and they brought females in from all over. Oh, look here. Here's a PT test. Now, Haver, she passed. Because, again, she's a fucking stud. But everybody else, if they're in blue, they're like a medium bendable. If they're in white, it ain't happening. Ever. But she passed. Now, if you look at her push-ups and sit-ups, she had 56 and 78. 12 pull-ups. Again, I'll give her credit. She's a studette. But she's in a pipeline in which from October to like December, all she's doing is fucking classes and PT. Nothing else. Never in the history of fucking any stud going to Ranger School, have they been given the chance to fucking like get trained up? And I'll cover that later because there's a blurb here coming up that I'm going to push fucking dude shit in. So, now, here's another PT test, and I think this was in December, but it doesn't have the the fucking O course in because of bad weather. Now, you can see in blue there, Haver. I didn't, because I'm not a fucking PowerPoint person. If you scroll over to the next to last column on your right, it says 2 out of 5. She failed land nav again. All right, but if I go back, she's at 5678 on that assessment, and she did 5271. So this is her second assessment. So she's still in the running to get a chance to go to RTAC, which is the Ranger Training Assessment Course. I think that's what they call it. Anyway, so that is 2 assessments she's got. And now she is, like everybody else, she is at this place just getting trained up to be fucking offered a chance to go to Pre-Ranger, RTAC. Okay, so here is the results of the obstacle course. Now, if you look down, there's X amount of fucking chicks there, and only 3 passed it. Every other woman failed it. Now, again, these were women who were considered like the best of the best, the most fittest possible. You can do this. You'll fight tigers. And they're fucking weak. Why is that? But now, they're the best, but when held to just this standard right here, low crawl, island hopper, fucking pit jump, I mean, it's like, how do you fail the pipe crossing? PFC Thornquist. Oh, I know. Someone told you that you were special, but in reality, when you got to the fucking wall climb, you couldn't do it. Now, this is a very complicated fucking horse blanket. Say horse blanket? Google it. And I couldn't make it big enough because I don't have the fucking skill set. But this is another assessment. I've highlighted fucking Lieutenant Haver in blue. And you can see she's got, I think it's 56 is her number. But again, she failed land nav. Can't land nav. It's called land navigation, not land navigation. And this is saved right here. You can pull it up whenever you want to pull it up and fucking look at it because it speaks volumes of all these. This is a female-only oriented pre-ranger. No men, all women. Not a single fucking, well, I'm sorry. The cadre were men because at that point in time, there were no females qualified to do it. All fucking women. So when they come out of this, there is an order of merit list, OML. And basically, if they're in green, they are ready to go, start their physicals now to go to pre-ranger / ranger school because your physical has to be within like, is it 6 months or a year? Somebody will fucking chime in and fucking hook me up. Spell that. But if you look down, I highlighted her name in purple. I don't know why it's fucking look good. Again, she's failed land nav. Now, I don't know why she can't land nav, but she can't land nav. And you can see the rest here. There's a lot of women who are just not cutting it. And again, well, not again, but there are a lot of men who can't cut it because it's not for the weak or faint-hearted. So, this is the actual order of merit after they finished one of the courses. Now, I don't have the backstory because the gentleman who sent me the information after he got kind of worried about his career, he pulled away, and I don't want to fucking push the guy because he's still in the active duty military. Now, so when they talk about numbers, Okay, and this was on a publication that pretty much stole one of my posts in which I quoted, or they are quoting me on the actual numbers. Okay, now it says of the 138 attempts by females, you have 138 females attempted RTAC. That is just at Fort Benning at the Warrior Training Center. Fuck you, Tom Snyder, you fucking punk bitch. So you had 138 attempts. Multiple attempts by multiple women. Now, this is just from Fort Carson. So they've given all this special treatment numerous times, October, November, December, to a female-only pre-ranger where they're training in just fucking, tactics, land navigation, fucking linear danger areas, small, large, and open danger areas, rad contact, break contact, squad attack, linear ambush, fucking recon, warning order, op order. But after everything that went down in Fort Carson, you now have 138 attempts by females. 20 female finally passed RTAC. And there was 20 who passed, but only 19 went into fucking Ranger School. And I don't have the fucking slide for this because I am fucking slide. I'm trying to fuck this shit. I need like 4 people, Eddie Schroet, you and all your Asian friends to help me with all this stuff because it kicks my ass. Anyway, so I've got 19 women started Ranger School on April 19th. And I don't have it here, but around the end of August, Haver and was it Grice? Yeah, Grice graduated Ranger School. It was 124 days in Ranger School. Now, this is not counting the 90 days that I know Haver spent attempting to better herself at the female-only pre-Ranger Ranger School train-up that was held at fucking Fort Carson. Now, they want to say in here that, hey, historically, this is this, whatever, but it's fucking drivel. When they say women, we're not giving any fucking preferential treatment, they're fucking liars. Fucking liars. So, on September 26th of 2015, I get a Facebook message from the post commander of Fort Benning, General Scott Miller. Now, Scott Miller is a bad motherfucker. He's killed more guys than fucking like Black Death. So, and I'm nobody. Like I am way below his fucking peer group. I'm not even I'm not the fucking placenta. But you see here, Bubba, Scott Miller here. I want to touch base with you. I was told several others. I've told several others that I shoot straight and direct. When he was in CAG, I'm sure he did. Quite frankly, I'm watching this watching this community rip itself apart, and it bothers me. At some point, we should all be drinking beer together, but we won't at this rate. Anyway, I'm available to answer any questions and think we know enough of the same people to vouch for what I say. I'm pretty sure he knows a lot of people. And the guys that he know that I know, we don't talk anymore because they're at an air or a place in their careers that they don't speak to guys like me, which is cool. And I'm now joined by my Roddy and my fur missile. So that was on 29 September 2015. I couldn't make this any bigger. I couldn't fucking figure it out because I don't really know what I'm doing here. But I immediately answered him, and I asked all these questions, which were specific questions. And I checked my P's and Q's because even though in theory, or not in theory, but I'm retired, if you address a general a certain way and it's construed as being a fucking fuckface, they can fucking call you back on and fucking ruin your shit. So I was very professional, which is a rarity for me. And at the end of this long thing, I fucking message him. He says, Bubba, those are big and fair questions. I would take a shot at answering or providing background on all. Would ask for an email so I don't do this all in Messenger, because he's a former fucking door kicker and he knows his shit, because he's a fucking worried about, having a fucking footprint. So I sent, and he goes, also, I'm going to ask that you don't share this publicly, because I'm going to talk about other units in response. That was in 2015. This was almost 2018. I sent him a fucking email. He never hit me back. And I knew he wouldn't, because he was just trying to get the pulse. And the pulse was that the fucking fix was in. The women were getting special treatment in their own female-only spin-up for Ranger School, pre-Ranger, at Fort Carson. And now, this is just Fort Carson. There could be more out there. I don't know. And I only talk about what I know. So, now, back up here. That was on September 26, 2015. On 2 October, from John W. Brown, Chief Knowledge Officer, G3 Maneuver Center of Excellence, because they brought in all the fucking tankers. Line 2, Ranger School and social media. If you are a member of the Maneuver Center and you choose to engage in discussions regarding women in Ranger School on social media, keep it professional. You can/will be held accountable for unprofessional conduct on social media. Are you shitting me? Can I get a fucking gun that's smoking? Oh my fucking God. Really? Because people were inundating me with all this information about what was going on. Not just the previous slides, but guys on the ground going, hey man, it's a fucking fix. They're giving these women the best possible chance to be successful. Where am I here? Okay, so a couple days, now, after the females graduated from Ranger School, you have Malcolm B. Frost, Brigadier General, U.S. Army, Chief of Public Affairs, put out this against my friend, Susan Keating of People, who is really the only female calling bullshit on fucking bullshit. And in red there, I highlighted it. He goes, it's also true that women were in their own platoon prior to attending the Ranger Corps. Hey, will you fucking stop it, jackasses? Lay down. Bo, no. This occurred as part of the routine. This occurred as part of routine continuing education. Now, it can't be routine because you haven't done it before. In preparation for Ranger School, no one else got it. But now they're going to argue that, hey, you're infantry, and being infantry, you've been doing it for X amount of time. I got to 3rd Ranger Battalion in June of fucking 1990. I went to Ranger School in April of 91. We were not doing Ranger task that is going on in Ranger School. Haver got more concentrated effort on how to pass Ranger School than I got, because I was jumping. I'm a private. If you're a private in fucking Ranger Battalion, you really don't have any fucking life. You're getting the shit smoked out of you. Nobody gives a fuck because you're a tailless bitch. It's what you do earning the chance to go to Ranger School that will fucking set you up for success or failure. And I know a lot of guys who thought, yeah, man, I'm the shit, and they got their fucking shit pushed in and they fucking tapped out. So, so continuing, but this was much the same as what male infantry officers do between completing the infantry officer basic course. There is no fucking course that IOBC students attend that is even closely similar to what these women got. Now, what they got was they got put in a platoon. Sergeant Hofnagel, I know the guy. I know him so well. I was a National Guard guy who walked with him on his first patrol. Hey, shut the fuck up. Who walked with him on his first solo patrol as a Ranger instructor and fucking saved his life because he was going to fucking really fuck up and look stupid. Anyway, see, and so after ILBC, which female students cannot take, and the start of Ranger School, so that gap between graduating ILBC and going to Ranger School, they get special training. Not like this, bro. Not like this. So, Malcolm B. Frost, you are a liar. And I just showed you the fact that they got training before they showed up. They go to RTAC and they pass, or they show up and they get trained by Hofnagel in the Ranger training. It's called something like the fucking sustainment program or something weird like that. So they get even more training, and if they do pass, they don't start Ranger School until the end of April. Why is that, sports fans? I'm going to tell you why. Because I know my shit. Because the end of April, the 1st of May, is the first class of summer. So your packing list is lighter than winter. And I've seen, I mean, I don't care when you go. If you go in the winter and you graduate Ranger School in the winter, you're a fucking stud. Because it's so cold and they can't wear any fucking snow gear. So, now, saying that, quite frankly, that placed them at a tremendous disadvantage since they were not with a unit that trains nearly every day on many of the same challenges and obstacles faced by Ranger students. Again, I don't recall ever doing anything that I did in pre-Ranger or Ranger School as a fucking private. Fucking buff the floor, shine this, be in formation, qualify on that fucking tree, do push-ups, do sit-ups, smoke yourself. I want to kill you, said everybody over me. Now, I can negate that real quickly. But let me touch on this right here. So this is Chuck Williams. Chuck Williams is the pole smoker of what was being done on Fort Benning. He was fucking sucking the dick. I know for the fact he is in fucking somebody's office at Building 4, probably the highest ranking dude wanting to fucking lick his balls. Oh my God, you're the best ever. Because on August 21st, when they had the graduation, read for yourself. Hofnagel sat in the bleachers with his 2 young daughters, all stoic and shit. He's gonna cry. He's like, oh my God, this is like an amazing moment. So he chimes in, a former Ranger instructor, which is true, and a 4-time competitor in Best Ranger, yes, which is why we call him Offnagel, because he was always off fucking doing Best Ranger shit. In January, Hofnagel accepted an assignment to work with the female soldiers who had been selected to attend the first gender-integrated class. Now, that's January. They didn't start until fucking April. It took them like infinity to graduate. So in January, just facts alone, in January, they started with Hofnagel getting trained up. Now, Haver had already spent since October at Fort Carson. Some of it was TDY, but she was always back in the mix. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. 11 fucking months. 11 months doing nothing but fucking Ranger shit. Mind you, she has a real job, but I can say, based off of what I know to have facts, she spent 11 months doing nothing but this. Now, had a point earlier, and I forgot it because I fucking forgot. See, I was here, I was talking about this. Anyway, it'll hit me. So, in September, Chuck Williams, being the fucking piece of shit that he is, I mean, just a fucking walking piece of shit, he calls me up on the phone. Now, we had an hour-long phone call. And in that phone call, let me try this. I'm going to fuck it up. see if I do that and that. Hello, sports fans. So Chuck calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing a story on this," and we talk for about an hour. And during that hour, I'm just being me. I don't fucking filter it. And about halfway through it, I could tell he was kind of trying to lead me on, goad me. And I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. I'm not going to, not say what I think or fucking feel about this. And being the fucking piece of shit that he is, excuse me, nope. The subsequent news article painted me out to be some, potty mouth, inbred redneck. Hello, I'm not inbred, but I'm from Tennessee, and I say shit, cock balls ass. Quit it. And he's thinking he's painting me in some corner of being the fucking, this fucking dude who's like, oh yeah, you're a fucking turd. Well, god damn it, I knew it. Smart on your equipment. And we're back. So, here's part of our interview with fucking old Chucky boy. So Chucky is Michael Bubba Moore. No one calls me Michael, bitch. And he referenced me and Steve Russell, who's a tabbed out dude, and blah 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 blah. So he goes on, yes, I'm a former Ranger instructor. So on Tuesday, I had been in contact with the office. I didn't call them; they called me. Okay. And he's painting a picture, and this part is important because it comes back and it makes him. I'm gonna show how fucking stupid he is because he's stupid, and he's fucking stupider. So you can read that. Say blah blah blah. Don't tell me that you didn't set these chicks up for success. And saying the words "chicks" is fucking so Donald Trumpish. Okay, it is like you're a fucking misogynistic fucking fuck. And I don't give massages, bitch. I'm kidding. Wait, what'd he say? Anyway, and so I was saying here they set them up for success because by now I had these slides, but I know how to fucking make them public, and no one will fucking take them from me. So here's the more drivel, and so third paragraph was that they were offered a chance to start the course over after twice failing the first patrol phase at Camp Darby. And I said, historically giving day one recycles is so rare, it is like the second coming of Jesus, which means that if you fail Darby and you fail Darby again, after they failed Darby the first time, the second time they were Darby inserts, but they failed patrols. So when you fail patrols, you are not being success. Or as a leader, I'm not setting stud up for success by giving someone a Darby insert, which means you skipped 0 week, rap week, and you go straight to the patrolling part of Ranger School. Now, because you can't fucking patrol, you're a dumbass. But oh, wait a minute, they don't get the training that infantry guys get or special forces guys get. Yeah, they do. Fucking Haber spent fucking 90 goddamn days before getting to Fort Benning, and then after she passed RTAC, somewhere in there, at least another 3 months. So that's 6 fucking months in a row that she's doing nothing but fucking training for Ranger School. So that fucking tells you to shut the fuck up. You're a lying motherfucker. Anyway, so if you put someone back in as a Darby insert and they failed peers or spots, they know how to patrol, but they were piss somebody off. But I will put them back in as a Darby insert because they're going to make that squad successful, and I'm going to up my chances of having the squad get more goals. Plus, he'll be kissing ass because he don't want to get fucking peered or spots again. But after you fail it twice, getting a day one recycle is like unheard of. Now, I questioned past Ranger buddies for the last 20 years who are all senior TAC guys and like Bubba, the number of day one recycles, giving coming out of Darby is you can count it on one hand. Now, they offered it to 2 other men, and I know the men said, fuck it, I'm out, because they don't want to get a fucking freebie. But, hey, stop. Out. I'm going to kill. You're dead. Lay down. So the females, they take it and run with it. I mean, hey, who wouldn't? So, ultimately, right here you go. I'm running my suck. And then, in red, which I figured out how to fucking highlight, I declined to say where I live. Like it's fucking top secret, but I ain't telling this guy anything. Because fuck him. But so, this is a brief synopsis of my career. But he's questioning me like, well, do you know what you're talking? Hey, dude, out. And then, I got one fucking tour in Iraq, and I says, I have been a vocal critic of women in Ranger School since the process that led to 19 women entering the course. How many women? 100 and how many attempts in fucking RTAC? Not counting the 80 to 150 who got 3 months of just female-oriented. Well, female-oriented. Yeah. All females doing a spin-up before RTAC / pre-ranger. And so when I say it's compromised, it's fucking horse shit. And I will tell fucking Turncoat and Arnold, how could you allow this to happen? Now, I got to toss this in here because post-retirement, I have spoken with Arnold only through fucking Facebook. And, I got to retract my, anger towards him because there's this and there's that. And I don't think that at that point in time he knew how to fucking handle it without getting his fucking, pee-pee slapped. And so I don't really hold him accountable. He could have been more forceful, but he still had the asset of his career to not protect, but he was on a short final to actually retiring. But I said, oh, wait a minute. If it wasn't you, it was the fucking Army then. Okay? I'm going to get women in Ranger School. You let them stay and train and do nothing but fucking PT. That was literally a quote by General Odierno, who is a tabless motherfucker. So, after fucking Chucky Boy writes that, I can actually speak proper English, so I type this out. And if you take a second to fucking read it, you'll see that I can actually speak in complete sentences, and I can check spelling and punctuation and grammar, and you have this. And at the ass end of it, I respectfully request that you retract, correct, and apologize immediately to me in public. I await your prompt response. Now, if we go back, what's this motherfucker at? Oh, you jackass. Well, that was the wrong slide. So, this is on 29 September, and then on 30. Jesus Christ, you dumb motherfucker. On 30 September, the very next day, they fucking came out with this. Now, all that shit about, I was in cahoots with whoever, they took it away, and they kind of, do the same thing, but they put it off on Russell, and then I get a little blurb here saying, this is me, and that was that. That literally was that. So, after all that was said and done, that's where you wind up at. So, where does that put it at the fucking ass end of the day? I'm 45 minutes into this, and I got to piss fucking really, really bad. So, I just showed you documentation in which the women were afforded a massive amount of time and opportunity to improve their skill set. Even with all of that, they fucking failed miserably. Now, there's fucking failing and there's failing miserably. It's like putting, like 1,000 people, and they're going to go that way, and there's fucking like 7 machine guns. And just by fucking chance, 3 get through. Which is a, I wouldn't say a fair example, but considering that the Army spent millions of dollars recruiting, selling. We can do this. Their end state was to allow females into the infantry, special forces, Ranger Regiment, and a combat MOS, as well as Navy SEALs. Yeah, special forces. What about special forces? Fuck special forces. Anyway, but is the juice worth the fucking squeeze? No. Ain't even close to being fucking worth it. So let's just talk about TDY, airfare, lodging, per diem. For all those women who went from Fort fucking Seal to Fort Carson to do their fucking female-only little group thing of, I guess it would be like a selection or something. And if you look back on the fucking first slide, the guy who sent me it said that these were the best of the best. And out of the best, a year later, 3 graduated. 1, 2, 3. 3. And when they graduated, they got more opportunities individually than I know of guys who've gotten. I mean, it's just staggering. Now, mind you, I used to be a Ranger instructor. I know how it works. I know the fucking politics that go in to numbers. It is all about numbers. It is a fucking fix. They want it a certain way so that they get a good blurb on the fucking OER. But at the ass end of the day, it's not for the good of the order. Because if I'm an E5 from the 82nd and I'm learning how to lead in that environment that's been watered down and fucking pussified, how hard is it? Oh, yeah. Do me a favor, man. Fucking take a knee over here and fucking pull security. You're a go. What? That was easy. Cool. Fucking honor grad. Okay, awesome. And knowing that I know what I'm talking about, several years ago, one of the guys that worked for me in Indiana, Kevin Mays, great fucking guy, fucking stud, runs way too much. He runs like all. Don't. He runs all the time. He's, hey, Bubba, what I got to do to fucking be successful? I'm like, you got to learn this, got to learn this, got to learn this, got to learn this. So he's in mountains, and he's pitching bay planning, and they're like, okay, stop. What the fuck? Hey, how are you so good at this? He's like, oh, I was told by got my work. I should learn, how to do all, this and that. Well, who the fuck is it? And it's like, oh, it's Sergeant Moore. I'm like, Bubba? Like, yeah. Like, yeah, dude, stop. You're good. And he was honor grad, and he was like fucking like every leadership award possible. Now, it isn't because of me. He learned it upon himself, but I know what makes someone successful there, and Kevin Mays is a fucking prime example. So if a guy like me says, you're fucking pissing in the goddamn water, you're pissing in the fucking water, period. I've got more on this, but here's the best part about this, and I got to go. Again, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Festivus, Feliz Navidad, whatever you do. I know for a fact that at Fort Seal, time now, they're still selling this program to females in the military who are super hua. Hey, why don't you come down here and train for 6 fucking months, and then we'll see you in the fucking Ranger School. Because since those 3 have graduated, 2 have snuck through with no fanfare, but nobody else. But they're still spending the fucking money, they're still putting in the fucking effort, and they're still fucking getting 2 things back on their return. Jack and shit. Hard to believe, but hey, numbers don't lie. Do they? Huh? Bueller?